Good morning. Okay, so this is the first time I'm going to do this. A lot of you have probably never seen me do what I'm going to do. I've never done a demo like this, and some of you have. So most of y'all know I've been selling makeup, Younique makeup, and I don't wear makeup that much. I only wear it to go out. Hi, Chloe. I only wear it to go out, right? But one thing that I've always been good at is art. So my whole family's like crafty. They're into crafts. And I got that bug too, right? Sorry, my hair is wet. I just got out of the shower. So I got that bug, but I kind of went to the dark side with it, right? So when I do makeup, I do special effects makeup. That's what I do. So I wanted to show y'all today. Okay, something randomly fell in my living room. I wanted to show y'all today how to do simple special effects stuff using stuff that's just around your house, because that's what I do. And so this is going to be a little different than what you've probably ever seen a makeup presenter actually do. So hi Beth, hi Dan. Okay, so first thing I did, and I gotta pull this off of my support here, is I created my little prosthetics, right? This is Elmer's glue and cotton balls. They're amazing for just about everything. It's not fully dry yet. I'm hoping it will be, and it'll still hold. And whoops. Now for the other thing. And here's what I'm going to do. Hi, Dan. I'm going to put an arrow through my eye and coming out my cheekbone. It's going to look awesome. It's going to be like, you know, Halloween in January, because that's what I do. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do this any other way. This is what I love doing with makeup. So I've got my back end of my arrow to come out one side, and then I created the front end. I used one of my son's eye patches. He has to wear eye patches. It's like, hi Beth. It's a family thing. We've all had crossed eyes. My mom had it. She went blind in one eye. I had it, and I had to have surgery, which is another reason why I hate doing makeup on camera like this, because when I try and do anything, my eyes naturally cross because I was googly-eyed when I was a kid. Anyways, my son inherited that, and he's got to get surgery, which is part of the reason why I started doing this business anyways, is because I was trying to raise money for his surgery. Anyhow, he has to wear eye patches, so thankfully I happen to have one of these around the house. And what I did was I took a little cardboard tube off of like those horrible dry cleaning hangers that you get, and I just pulled it off of there and added a little cotton ball tip with some Elmer's glue to set it for the arrow. And once this is all painted up, it's gonna look awesome. So what I would normally do in an ideal situation is I would actually have liquid latex, but I went to open my latex and I found out, uh-oh, it's all dry. So it's been that long since I've done this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the back support to stay because the glue isn't dry. So I'll at least do the arrow through the eyeball, because I know the eye patch will stay. It's awesome. Oh, see, here's plain eye patch. It was even colored and everything, but the Elmer's glue took care of all that. So I'm going to start and just take this off of the eye patch and adhesive, and look, oh, it's over my eye. Okay, and it's a little wobbly because, like I said, the glue still isn't dry. And now I have this challenge of I get to put on makeup with one eye. Haha, this is going to be fun. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is not to do, and I'm going to use little sponges for this because they're cheap and I don't really want to ruin my brushes. So I'm going to start dark, and I've got these color palettes. So I'm just going to use a dark blue, the one, I guess it's on your right, and start around the center and kind of, I should have put this over my left eye because my right eye has better vision, but oh well, that's alright, we'll get her done. There we go. Oh, it's holding color well. Okay, so start in the middle with the dark colors. This is probably something you guys will never ever see another Younique presenter do. Unless it's around Halloween, then they might do something like this for you. Okay. And use a different corner of the sponge when I go back for more. You don't want to damage your makeup. So again, real dark, especially around this little piece that's coming out. Okay. Alright, then I want to start going into like purples and pinks. So again, I'm going to use a different corner of the sponge this time. Go a little further out with some purples. And dark is fine. You can't go too dark. Because you can always lighten it later, but people are watching this going, is she crazy? What the hell is she doing? Okay, so I'm using my little color palettes, and now I'm actually going to go with this, because these are the Splurge cream shadows, and it makes a really good purple. And the eyeshadows in my dry palettes are a little too light, and this is a little more vibrant color. So I'm going to pull that in here, pull these purples out, and right now it just looks like a black mushy mess, but once I start blending it with the foundation, it'll start to look a lot better. And this cream shadow is glittery. Ideally, you'd probably want to use the matte version of the purples. Ooh, this is hard to do using only this. Okay. Only this little camera. Not used to doing this even on myself. I'm used to doing this on other people. And by the way, this has been years since I've actually done this, and just glad I haven't lost it, I guess. And my arrow is getting floppy because the glue again wasn't fully dry. Alright, so now I'm going to go over it with this BB foundation. It's a lighter foundation, and the reason that I'm going to do this is I'm going to use this to just kind of blend it, and then I'm going to go over it with foundation that actually matches my skin. So I'm just going to do little pats around it for now. Oops, I got the tip of my arrow on accident. And this is going to kind of bring out that color of the purples. Ah, my arrow is getting floppy. Oh, it's cold. Hey, Chris. Chris Steak, I've seen me do this before. And then next time I'll show y'all how to do a zombie, because that's just a lot easier. Today I just wanted to do something fun. I haven't made my own prosthetics in a while. And I went to make blood for this. I'll show y'all in a little bit. It was kind of funny. I was like, oh, I don't have corn syrup, which is what I always used to make blood. And so I had to go ahead and make blood out of honey. And I didn't have red food coloring. So I found a thing, it was like cake icing that I used. Worked great. I have some really cool looking blood now. Alright, so, and I'll let you look up close. It's looking pretty nasty, right? But then what I want to do is go back in with these purples again, because it's not quite bruised looking. It's right now kind of a grayish matter. So, going back in with the purple cream shadow, and kind of fill in some of these gaps, darken it up a little in the center there. I really want it to look bruised and beaten and swollen. Oh, I think I'm about to lose my arrow. If I do, I'll just do a hole in my eye instead. Improvise. Oh, come on, arrow. Quit flopping around. Okay, so before I lose my arrow completely, I'm going to start with the blood. I gotta go get the blood. Alright, so again, alright, I'm just going to have to take this out. And what I'll do is just fill this in. I would love to do the arrow, but I didn't have enough time this morning to let it set, so we're just going to have to do an empty eye socket. This is going to look equally as gross. I'm sorry, guys. Ooh, this might actually look worse. All right. So, I didn't have any like corn syrup. Normally I would use corn syrup with a little bit of red food coloring and then just 1 drop of black. But this, I didn't have corn syrup and I didn't have food coloring, so I used honey and cake icing. Tastes good. Not that I'm gonna eat it, but we'll see how it looks. So, you think so, Beth? Thank you. Hey, Maureen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, Beth. I think this is gonna look better than the cake icing. Okay. So the red's taking really well, considering what it's made of. And my family that has never seen me do this, they're probably like, what is she doing? That's disgusting. A lot of you knew that I could do this and have seen me do it before. Again, this honey, I may actually change my recipe because the honey works really well. It's not as drippy as corn syrup usually is. I'm gonna go around, kind of use some of this red in some of these places to fill in the white from the cotton balls. Kind of right around there, my eye. What do y'all think so far? Look pretty gross? Okay. Not gonna happen. Alright, so now that I've got most of this, you can still see like these boundaries here, and I went over it with that light foundation. Now I'm gonna go over it with this touch foundation. It's a little thicker, it's got much better coverage, and I'm gonna fill in those. Thanks, Chris. I'm gonna fill in those areas. I didn't plan on doing this one today. I had an arrow that I was gonna do, but glue fell apart, and you know what, it happens. I didn't have latex, I only had Elmer's glue. And you can do this stuff with Elmer's glue or lots of other adhesives in your house. I wouldn't use, you know, anything too strong on your face, but this touch foundation covers awesome. And it blends really well. So you just kind of go around the borders, and I'm gonna try and pat it in, blend it out. Hey, Trevor. Okay, now the center of the eye is just really red right now. So again, I want to go in the center with something really dark, kind of darken that up. So I need to find a brush. 1 second. Fix that. I unplugged my laptop. Alright, so got a brush. And hi, Trevor. And then I need to find my dark palette. That's number 4. I've got this dark blue on the far, I think it's your right, that I'm going to use in the middle. And I'm not using my good makeup brushes because I don't want to hurt them. And I am putting this on top of that liquid blood, just darkening the center of this wound here. I can't. This is an eye patch, Chris. I don't know if you saw the beginning. It's an eye patch that I put on over over my eye, so definitely not gonna hurt my actual eye. It's kind of funny. It feels really weird just sitting here jabbing at it and feeling that. Okay, so made the center black. If I had known that I wasn't gonna do the arrow thing that I was originally planning on doing, let's see if I can get this thing to fit in here now. I might be able to still salvage it. No, not gonna work. So I would have made it more centered on this wound. Maybe I can stretch it out. Let's see. make it look like it's actually on my eye. That's the great thing about cotton, and why I like working with these things before they're even fully dry, is because then you have some flexibility to like move stuff around if you run into errors or improvise. Okay, cool. Is that a little more even looking? And then I'm gonna fold these little things around, go back in. I need more foundation to kind of blend this out. See, Trevor, I know you know how to do this stuff. Dan, I know for sure that you do. If Dan is still watching, he may not be. Alright. And again, I want to try and make this look real, so I'm using this skin tone foundation to kind of go around the edges. Alright. It sounds like you tripped or almost tripped while you were in the background. No, I knocked the cord out of my laptop. My laptop's plugged in. I've got it stretched out across the room, and I like tripped, and I didn't fall. I just, you know, knocked it down, knocked my cord out. All right, so almost done. Back to the blood, and gonna finish this out. Yeah, I know I did 2 layers of blood, but I kind of needed to see what that red was going to look like. Oh, don't get hair in the syrup. Not syrup, honey. Honey in this case. I ran out of corn syrup and I didn't have food coloring. And all I had was icing and honey. But you know what? It looks great. It worked. So now is when I'm going to add these little touches. Go around there. Now, ideally, I would have latex and I would be able to blend this all out and make this look smoother, but I didn't have latex. All I had was Elmer's glue and eye patches. So what I'm going to try and do is cover some of this. Thanks, Beth. Gently kind of drape this along. This is my talent when it comes to makeup. This is what I know how to do. Not so good at putting on makeup for everyday use. I never have been. You have 3 bottles of corn syrup? Alright. Trying to use the blood to help cover up some of the... Hi, Nancy! Doing Halloween makeup in January. Trying to use the blood to cover up some of these little imperfections in the eye patch. Almost done here, guys. Yeah, Chris. Nancy, you're gonna have to watch the video from the beginning. Yeah, I started doing this when I was 16, 17, and just got really good at it. Just, like I said, everybody else in my family got really good at crafts, and this was all I was ever wanting to do. I love horror movies. Actually, I take that back. I don't like the plot lines of horror movies. I can't stand it. But what I do love about them, yeah, Beth, I thought about that, but she says maybe for Frightmare Weekend. Yeah, Nancy, I've been doing this since I was 17. I started doing this for a haunted house. The makeup ladies, I think they quit. They thought they weren't getting paid enough or something, and so they left. And I was like, well, I know how to paint, so I'll try and do something like this. Figured out the foundation trick on my own 5 years ago. Yeah, it does make a huge difference. The foundation is what brings it all together. So, again, something like this, really easy to do, really nasty looking, right? And if you want to, you know, make it look more zombified, ideally, like I said, I'd have latex to kind of get rid of this little seam here. But I don't have any. I'll have to go get some in Dallas sometime next couple of weeks to do another demo. But, I forgot where my train of thought was. Yeah. Anyways, if you want to make it look more zombified, you can do a wound like this and then just add green colors to it, or darker lines of blues and greens, and that's effective too, but this is just more going for realism type thing. So yeah, I started doing this, like I said, when I was 17, and just kept teaching myself and building on it and learning how to do this. I don't like the plot lines of horror movies, but I love watching them just because I love seeing the special effects and the makeup. I think most horror movies are really cheesy with the plot lines. There's not many of them that are great. They're fun to watch for me because of this kind of stuff. So, when it comes time to taking it off, and I'm about to, ready? Again, it's just an eye patch, so. Oh, hey, look, I can see again. And then I'm going to use these shine cloths. These are actually the best things I've ever found for removing makeup. And bam, done. Yeah, slashes are easy to remove. These shine cloths are awesome. These are the best thing, better than baby wipes, better than anything I've found at removing any kind of makeup. It's gone, just done. I'm sorry, Nancy, I didn't mean to scare you. But yeah, those cloths, the only downside to them is if you get them around your lips, they have this stuff called jojoba oil on them, which is for combination skin. So they're a cleaning cloth that gets up all the makeup, gets it off real easily. But it's for combination skin, so they have that jojoba oil. It reacts with your skin, and if you have really dry skin, it gives it just enough moisture, but if your skin's already got enough moisture, it won't absorb this extra oil. Anyways, so that stuff tastes awful, so using these cleansing cloths, try not to get it around your mouth, because you'll regret it. But yeah, so simple, right? I used all ingredients that I had around the house already. The next time I do this, and I'm sorry that my little arrow prosthetic fell off, but the next time that I do this, I'll do like a zombie and do maybe half of my face or something. I didn't plan on doing just the eye today. I planned on doing like a little arrow going through my face at an angle, but that didn't work, you know, so not everything works like you plan. But yeah, this is what I do with makeup. This is what I've always done with makeup. This is what I love to do with makeup. I see the colors and I think of ways that I can use them for this. That's it. That's what I love. Anyways, I'm done for today. Thank you all for watching. And I know some of you already knew this stuff, and I've already taught you tricks in the past, or you've watched me do it. Trevor, Chris, Dan have all watched me do this before, or I've taught you some things or tips along the way. But everything that I used here to do this was either like household items, cotton balls, like I said, honey with cake icing, and my Younique makeup kits. So yeah, if y'all want to help me out, go to my website. It's www.youniquegal, YOUNIQUE, gal.com. And I will see y'all later. Bye.